All right, guys, let's try this. Hopefully it doesn't wiggle too much because I'm doing it in a different spot today. So we've got a new section, sampling and surveys. We're going to do a bunch of different sampling ideas. This is a big time activity unit, so we'll do our best to kind of make the activities work. Disregard this line. This is so I know where to write. So if we're looking at this and we're taking samples, so I'm just going to say this is my population. So that's my population. And so let's just say that's all the students at EUHS. And then this will be my sample here. So the idea is that the population is the entire group. So right now we're going to say it's EUHS students. That's the idea of that. So we're saying this is the EUHS students. And so if I wanted to take a sample, I would reach in or choose somehow, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we could say there's 10 people there. All right, so that's the idea, that this sample is part of the population. Okay, and this is where we get our information, because I don't think you would want to sample all of the UHS students, 940 of them, or it'd be a lot easier if we just sampled a small piece of them and use that information. So what information goes with these? Well, right now you guys know that mu and standard deviation. So this is the average of the population. This is the standard deviation of the population. And then if we take a sample, we have the X bar of the sample and the standard deviation of the sample. So these two signify that we took a sample. These two signify that we have the entire population's information, which is a very large concept for us as we kind of move forward. So this is where we get the information from. So we could like ask people their height. We could count how many males and females. So let's say the females are buttons and the males are the little beads. So now we've got 5 and 5. So we could take information from that. So the population versus the sample. Now, I'm going to dump these back in there so everybody goes back in. So then we have, so if we take that idea and we have to get a towel, and we take the idea of sampling and we look at this and we say, okay, I want to, here's an example for you. I want to sample who likes Taco Bell. Totally random. Taco Bell. So who likes Taco Bell? And I went and I stood in front of, let's say, Taco Bell. Couple things are going to happen. This is super convenient because I'm standing right in front of Taco Bell. So the whole idea behind a convenience sample is choosing the easiest people to reach. So that's pretty easy to reach, right? But so they're convenient because they're already going to Taco Bell. And I don't even know if I can spell convenient right. So convenient, that is totally not right. That's horrible. So convenient. And then it also brings what's called bias in there. Bias is something that favors an outcome. Okay? So this is an extreme example of a very convenient sample and a bias that favors outcome. So if you're standing in front of Taco Bell taking your sample, more than likely it's going to favor an outcome of people that like it. And it's really easy. So let's go and talk about something else. So let's just give another example of like a question about high school athletics. High school athletics. So if we want to make it convenient, we ask at high school only. If we want to make it biased, we ask at games. Okay? So that's the idea of being convenient and biased. So we would say that I'm just going to go to the football game. If this is a football game or a basketball game or a soccer game or anything like that, I'm just going to go ask those people if they favor athletics. Well, you're going to favor a certain outcome at that point. And let's say I don't even want to go to that. I'm just going to go ahead and ask people at the high school only because I don't feel like going to the game tonight. So now you're just it's a convenience. So you're not actually showing and getting a big enough sample of random people. So if we're looking at different ways to sample, voluntary response literally means you allow people to respond to survey. You don't randomly ask people. You allow people to respond if they want to. So, like the surveys online, click on this to answer this question. The only thing that happens with that is it's only going to be about the people who care about the subject that are going to respond. So you're going to get a bias for the people who actually care or completely dislike it. So you're not randomly seeking answers. You're just allowing people to voluntarily answer the question. So let's go here. Bring back my population of students. So let's talk about a simple random sample, which is called an SRS, simple random sample. It's a lot easier to go with. So bunch of different ways to get your samples. So first let's talk about what's a sample. A sample is n individuals. In other words, that's the number of individuals. Number of individuals. I'm going to abbreviate individuals as INDIV. Okay? Selected from a population with equal, here's the key part, equal chance of being chosen. Okay? So, of equal chance being chosen. So, if one of the ways is names in a hat or people in a hat or whatever. So, if I took this and I threw everybody's name in EUHS in here and I didn't look and I just drew one person, everybody had an equal chance of being chosen. That is a simple random sample. So my N is 1. Let's go back and I'm just going to pick 5. So and I didn't look and it's mixed up. So there's 5 of them. Those 5 people had an equal chance of being chosen. Now, if I look at it differently and go, oh, you know what? Let me look in here. I like purple. So now all of a sudden, not everybody has a chance of being chosen because I'm looking in there and I just decided that I like purple. Okay? So a simple random sample is the ability of n number, any number, that's n, that's what n means, of individuals selected from a population, but they have to have an equal chance. So there's 3 ways to do it. The first way is to put the names in a hat, toss them around, or numbers in a hat, toss them around, and then reach in and randomly grab them. The other way is to use what's called Table D, and we're going to go over this in class tomorrow. In the back is Table D. Table D right here in the very back. And it's randomly number generated lines. So you have 1, 9, 2, 2, 3, 9, 5, 0, 3, 4. And you just read from left to right like this. So if you wanted to pick, if we had 333 students and you wanted to pick a total of 10 of them, let's say you wanted an N of 10, you would go here, and since we have 333, we would use 3 digits. And so I'd start here. You can pick any line you want. So let's just start down at 120. My first 3 digits are 354. Let me go to where you guys can kind of see that right there. So if you go to the back of the book and go to 120, I have, I'll write them across the top up here. I have 354, which doesn't fall within that number. So then I'd skip that one, and I'd go 765, skip that one, and I'd keep working until I got a number 597. 597 are the next 3 in that line. So I'm just working my way across. That doesn't work. So 239. So my first student would be student number 239. And I just keep working across the table, going left to right as you guys kind of work your way down. So that's one way to do it.